What's going on, guys? Today's going to be a little bit different video. I think it's time I clarify a few things, mainly concerning this machine. But before we get into that, I want you to take a look at this graph. If you're new to my channel, you've never clicked on a thumbnail before, look at this graph. I have about 80% of the people that are watching my channel that are not subscribed. Only 20% are subscribed. Guys, when you don't subscribe to the channel, it hurts the channel. I'm getting activity on my channel, but I'm not getting likes and subscriptions, and that tells YouTube that you were not interested in this channel and what it had to offer, and YouTube pretty much ignores my channel. So if you click on this channel, if you click on the thumbnail, please like the video whether you subscribe or not, but I would greatly appreciate you subscribing, because doing both gets me more recognition. Gets this channel more recognition from YouTube, and that helps me in the long run. It helps the channel grow in the long run. So that's enough of that. If you are new to the channel, you don't know who I am, my name is Brian, and you're watching So what am I going to be talking about? Well, if you've never watched my channel before, you need to go back and watch the videos that I have done on the Ariens Icon Envy 42-inch cut. That will pretty much catch you up to speed to where we are now with this machine. I'm in a conundrum with it. I don't know whether I want to keep it and run it, or keep it and use it as a backup machine, or sell it and get something else. I haven't made up my mind. But I have had a lot, and I do mean a lot, of comments that I feel like it's time to address. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to any person or any other channel, but some of you guys out there do not understand that I know what I'm doing. You point out this machine is not made in the USA. Well, made is a relative term. It can mean many different things. I made my son, but I didn't build him like Frankenstein did. There are many different car manufacturers that build cars, assemble cars, but not every part on the car is made in America. Guys, you got to catch up to that. You got to understand, I know what I'm talking about when I say made in the USA. It is assembled in the USA. Not every piece and part of this machine is manufactured in America. I know that. I'm not dumb. I'm not stupid. I know that. But it is, however, the frame is built in Brinson, Wisconsin. Is the steel? I have no clue. But the frame is manufactured, it is put together and welded in Brillion, Wisconsin, by Ariens Co. And every little, like this thing right here, the PTO, is probably made in Japan. I won't swear to that. This ignition switch, I had to order a new one because the old one went out, the original. It went out. I bought it off of Amazon, and it's from Japan. Guys, I know that kind of stuff. Quit telling me you're wrong. It's not made in the USA. No, made, when I said it was made in America, I meant it was assembled in America. So, I hope that covers that. I know it was not every little part, piece, bolt, bearing, pin, cable. I know there's not many parts of it is made in America, but it is assembled in America. So I hope that puts that issue to bed. Please don't leave me any more comments. That tag is wrong. It's not made in America. It's not. It's assembled in America. So I hope that takes care of that. Now, for the other biggie that I want to cover in this video. Guys, I can't describe the only way I can put it is I've had a wide range of comments stating that I bought the wrong machine for the job. No, I did not. If you've watched any of my videos on this, well, let me back up. I bought this machine for two purposes. Number one, to be a backup in the event that my big one ever goes down. I'll have something to work with. No, it's not intended to do large acreage every day. No, it's not. But if I needed it to get me through until my big one got finished, got fixed, I would have something to keep working with. That was the main reason I bought another machine. I bought this size machine, the 42-inch cut, to go through small gates so I or Nate would not have to continue weed eating entire backyards because we couldn't get through the gates. And then I have a couple of commercial jobs that have real tiny areas of grass, but they're still too large for a push mower. So I bought a 42-inch cut zero turn, just like you would buy a 42-inch cut riding tractor to do those small areas. And that's all it does. The only time other than that I use this is if Nate is almost done with a property and we're crunched for time, I'll use this one to assist him in finishing up the job. That's the only time this machine gets used. Now, I want to address a couple of things. A lot of people said, well, you bought the wrong piece of equipment for commercial work. No. Let me explain something. I want to take my glasses off. I want you to see my eyes. I've been doing this for 25 years. I think I know what I'm doing by now. I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm trying to be firm because I am frustrated that a lot of people don't watch the videos and understand what I'm trying to say. So maybe if I put this content in one video, you'll watch it and understand. So, why did I buy this machine? Why did I buy this particular machine? Why did I go with a residential machine over a commercial machine? Well, number one, most of your commercial machines start at 44 inches and go up from there in deck size. You can't get a 44-inch or 42-inch in a commercial unless you buy like a 34-inch. And that's actually too small. And when I say too small, I mean when you get on a slight little bit of a hill, a 34-inch machine is too unstable. But in a necessary situation where you can't use the big machine because it won't go through the gate, you have to have a machine like this in order to hold the hill. Again, this is not my first rodeo. I know what I'm doing. Now, why did I buy this machine over a commercial machine? Well, look at here. This is the machine I was running before I bought this one. The only reason I bought this machine, guys, was because that one went down and was going to cost me hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get it fixed. Now, I want you to listen to the words coming out of my mouth. I want you to listen closely. And if you need to, back this video up and listen to me again, because I don't want to have to go over this ever again. This Craftsman you're looking at right here was 15 years old when I bought it. You heard me right. 15 years old. It had 149 hours on it when I bought it. It was sitting under a man's lean-to. The man had recently passed away, and the family was going over his property, deciding what they were going to sell and what they were going to keep. Well, his yard was a disaster. And being that I do one of the siblings' properties, his property, he called me and said, hey, we want you to give us a price on doing my dad's yard, getting it whipped back in shape. And when I got there, we walked around the yard and I saw this Craftsman you're looking at right here. I saw this Craftsman sitting under his shelter. And I said, what are you going to do with that mower? He said, well, we're probably going to sell it as part of the estate. I said, don't sell it. I said, let me crunch some numbers and I'll get back with you. So I went out to my truck. At that time, I was driving the white truck. And I came back and I gave him the price. And I said, but I said, I'll do every bit of this in exchange for that Craftsman mower. He said, are you serious? I said, yes. I said, I need a backup machine. I said, and that would be perfect for what I need. And he said, well, let me talk to my siblings and I'll get back with you. Well, 2 days later, he messaged me, he texted me and said, everything's a go, you can get started whenever you want. So that's how I came to get the Craftsman. Now, I'm going to stop the camera and I'm going to go get something and I'm going to show you something. Because I want you to understand the full reasons why I bought what I bought. Had to go get me a swig of water along with what I got in my hand. Now, for those of you that don't know what this probably is, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to open it up and show you. Now, the Craftsman was assembled by MTD, and it was sold at a Lowe's big box store. That's where the man that was deceased that I got it from, that's where he bought it from in 2005. I took possession of it in 2019. Now, this is, I bought 2 of these, and I'm going to open it up because I want you to see it, because there's a couple things I'm going to point out about it. This is a spindle housing for that Craftsman. It's brand new. You saw me just cut the box open and take it out. I bought 2 of these. Reason why is because you see these ears right here? You see these ears? This is where the spindle connects to the deck. This is the weak point of that Craftsman. That's the weak point. If you hit, the blade is down here. It was a 46-inch cut. It had 2 blades. So the blades were what, 22 and a half, 23 inches long? This thing is turning. If you hit something solid like that with the blade, it would shear that ear off. The torque would shear that ear, and most of the time it would shear 2 of them. Because this is die-cast aluminum. It's not steel. Now, this one, and I may, matter of fact, I will. This will show you that this machine is supposed to be built better and better quality than an MTD machine. You see that right there? It's aluminum too, but it's on the top and it's much smaller and it's got 3 blades. Now, you say, what is the difference between that one and this one? Well, I'll tell you. Let me put this camera back on the tripod and I will show you. First of all, I got to prime the pump. You see the size of that pulley? You saw the size of this pulley. You saw how much smaller that pulley is on this one. The reason why this is a weak point is because these pulleys are so big, and the pulley on the clutch was about the size of these. They were very small. And when you've got that much torque spinning that fast, now the clutch spun real fast, but these things didn't spin as fast as these do because the blade tip speed was much slower. But the way this is designed, that is completely round. It is completely round. It has no gaps in it like this. The gaps right there. These are completely round. In other words, they're solid. That is the difference. Now, why did I point that out using the spindle? Well, two reasons. Number one, to show you that when I went to the dealer that I had been dealing with for 22 years. I've been trading with them for 22 years. When I went to them and told them that my Craftsman had gone down, and what had happened, the clutch had come loose and it had worked its way down on the crankshaft, and it was wobbling, and we didn't know it. I had just put a hydraulic drive belt on that machine, and I put the Loctite on the threads, and I torqued it like it was supposed to be torqued. It still came loose. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. But when it was wobbling, it burred the end of the crankshaft to the point that I would have to take the motor apart, have the crankshaft machined to get the thing to fit back on it. Well, the machine was 18 years old. I didn't see the point in spending $1,000 in machine work on that engine when I could either buy a new engine or I could just buy a new machine. Well, I was looking to upgrade machines anyway. Enter this. Now, I was told by the dealer, I specifically asked the dealer, you know what I'm running now? This machine right here. A Craftsman Z6400 built by MTD and sold by Lowe's. It had, at the time I sold it, it had 700. Now listen to the words coming out of my mouth. It had 746 hours on it. When I bought it, it had 149. So you do the math. I put over 600 hours on that machine myself, and it was solid as a rock when I sold it, other than the clutch, the crankshaft situation. The man that bought it is still running it, and it's got over 1,000 hours on it. I've had to Band-Aid and spitball and baling twine this thing to keep it together. I got tired of filming everything that was wrong with it because I knew you guys would just tune out and tune me out and wouldn't even come to my channel, and I did not want that to happen. But I felt after the comments that I've gotten over the last few days, especially from my video, I'm pissed. No one told me beforehand I'm pissed, and the one with the thumbnail, I'm in hell. I had one guy say it was my fault that the seat was in the condition it was in because I leave it sitting out in the weather. Guys, it's a lawnmower. It's meant to be in the elements. It ain't my fault that they put wood on the back of this seat. And it's not my fault that the leather shrank up and now you can't reattach it. That is not my fault. That is a manufacturer's problem, not mine. Every trailer I have since I started my business. My old short trailer's right over there, and my 14-foot trailer's parked over there next to the road. And then I've got Leonard over there, my 16-foot deck trailer. Every trailer I've ever had was open deck. And I cover, especially this one, I cover it up when it's going to rain. Because number one, the biggest reason was because this seat is porous and the padding gets wet and it takes weeks for it to dry if it gets wet. So I keep it covered. The engine too. I cover it all up. So it is not exposed to the rain. It is exposed to sunlight and dust and dirt. Now, it's a lawnmower. It's supposed to be exposed to those elements. And it's supposed to hold up. Now, getting back to the dealer. Flossie was with me when I bought this machine. She will verify, and I'll tell her to leave a comment on this video when it comes out, that she does verify that what I'm telling you is the truth. She was with me. Nate was with me too. She will tell you, she will leave a comment that I asked the dealer to show me machines that would be comparable to or better built and last longer than that Craftsman. And this is the one they showed me. Now, I want you to look at my eyes. This is the machine they showed me. They pointed this out, and then when I had got 5 hours on it and I realized this thing is not going to hold up, I tried to take it back and trade it for another machine. They wouldn't even talk to me. Now you understand why I quit dealing with them. Because I went to another dealer in Dunn, North Carolina, and asked them what their policy was. Let me put this knife down before I stab myself, or cut myself rather. I asked them what their trade policies are, and they said, well, as long as it's got under 50 hours and you trade apples for apples, in other words, same size for the same value, they'll trade all day long. Well, the one I was dealing with for 22 years, they wouldn't do that. They said they couldn't do that. They could sell it, but they could not trade. In other words, they expected me to keep paying for it, buy another machine at my cost, at my expense, and let them sell it and then take a commission. Now you know I don't deal with them anymore. After 25 years, they can take a hike. I don't need that kind of business association with people that are only out to make money and they're not out for customer service. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I have made many videos on this machine. I knew right up front I was buying a residential machine. That's what I wanted, because if you look here, that's what I already had. And they told me in no uncertain terms, when I asked them directly, will this machine hold up better and be a better quality, better built machine than the Craftsman I've got? And they said, absolutely, bar none, without a shadow of a doubt. They lied to me. And they lied to me to make a sale. This machine, tax and all, was just under $5,000. Now, it's paid off. And, well, it's near paid off. I said that wrong. It's near paid off. And I've already had to do welding on several spots. The frame right here is what they call 10 gauge steel. And I found out recently that the mower I used to have, the Gravely 152 XDZ, it had a 1/4 inch steel tube steel frame. The 100 they have now, it has an 1/8 inch tube steel frame. It's 10 gauge, 1/8 inch thick. And the only thing I can think of is they shifted everything down, and then when they put the Mach 1 in the lineup, everything from the 200 up changed. Because they no longer have the 200. They have the 100, the 300, the Mach 1, the 500, and the 600. The Mach 1, you can't do any mulching with. because the way the deck is designed, you can't put a mulch guard on it. You can't put a green guard, or you can't put the Gravely mulch plate on it. You can't do it because of the way it's made. It's made like a MTD deck. It's got that tunnel on it, and it's not flat. You can't put anything on it. But anyway, guys, I knew what I was getting into with buying residential when I looked at this machine. I bought this because of the size of the deck, and I was told that it would be a far superior machine to what I had. And I was lied to, because it in no way is as sturdy. It is in no way a better cut. It is in no way a better mulching machine. It is in no way a faster machine. It is in no way a tougher machine than this Craftsman you're looking at right here. I would give anything to be able to get that Craftsman back, but I can't. He doesn't want, I've already talked to him, he doesn't want to trade because he knows the problems I've had with this one. And as I said before, what's good about this machine? The motor and the transmissions. That's about it. I've had to put, I don't know how many plugs in these tires because the tires are thin, and I'll show you the front end spindles, what they look like. I have not had them straightened. You ain't gonna believe it. If you haven't seen this machine before, you ain't gonna believe it. Now I want you to look at the spindles. I want you to look at the tires, how they're bent. They're not supposed to look like that. This one here is even worse. Look at that. They're not supposed to look like that. They're supposed to be straight. And while I'm putting the camera back on the tripod, get back on the machine. Guess what? The ones on this Craftsman are still straight. So I had an MTD product. I bought a product that I thought would be far superior to an MTD product, and I was wrong. I was wrong. But I wasn't wrong. I was misled. I was told it would be a far superior machine, and as you can see, it is not. So guys, that's going to do it. I hope and pray that this puts this subject to bed. I hope this clarifies any misconception someone might have as to whether or not I bought the wrong machine. No, I knew what I was buying, but I was misled to believe that it would be a better machine than what I already had. And like I said in the beginning of this video, this machine here, this Craftsman, has over 1,000 hours on it, and the man is still using it. I doubt this machine will make it to 1,000 hours. It will be completely fell apart. So I hope that puts it to bed. I don't want any comments. Well, you should have bought commercial. No, I was buying what I thought would be a superior machine to what I already had that did a great job. So I hope that clears things up. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. And if I come across angry or aggravated, I'm neither. I want this subject put to bed. I don't want any other misunderstandings. I don't want anybody to say, well, you know you bought a residential machine, what do you expect? Well, I expected it to be far better than the one I already had built by MTD. That's what I expected. I didn't expect to buy a machine that the spindles are going to bend and the wheels are going to sit like this. I didn't expect to have to do patchwork on the deck. I didn't expect to have to weld the deck hangers back to the machine, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And the third time I finally put braces on them to keep it from breaking again. That's what I didn't expect. I never had, the only issues I had with that Craftsman, other than your normal wear and tear breakage, was the spindles. If you hit something hard with it, it would shear. But the spindles are $39. They're not expensive. Matter of fact, I got 2 of them for $69. So what is that? $70. That's $35 a piece. So, you know, that wasn't a huge problem. And I could change them in 20 minutes. That's not a big deal. But everything that's happened to this machine has been a nightmare. So that's all I'm going to say. Guys, I hope you got something out of this. I hope you understand the position I'm in. I hope you understood where I was coming from. I hope you understand why I bought this machine and didn't buy a commercial machine at the time. Because I needed something to go through small gates and do small areas of grass like the one I already had. So I hope that clears it up. This is Brian with Big South Outdoors TV, reminding you to live big, live southern, and live outdoors. Until we meet again, folks, have a good one.